everybody. Welcome to Into the Night with Shawn Kelly. How is everybody doing? I'm doing pretty decent. Um, I don't know, all this bullshit that's going on in the world today. All these chemtrails, all this thing that happened in East Palestine. I was sitting down and I was looking at, just dwelling. And I'm thinking, maybe something is wrong, or maybe there's going to be this so-called World War III, or maybe this, or maybe that. And and you know what? There's nothing I can do about it except just sit back, relax, and wait for the situation to you know. Hey, Tommy Miller, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. I'm doing great, bud. It's nice to have you back. Missed you a couple weeks, but I have got a very special guest tonight. Um, I've had her on before, but um, she's going to be a special co-host tonight, and we're going to chat. It's Tara Bruecken, and I mean she's like my sis, you know what I mean. And we've known each other for almost 20 years now, and she has come a long way. She's my friend. I've seen her grow from a little puppy up to a big bad wolf now, and she wants to get into um, podcasts and radio stations and stuff like that. Tommy Miller says, it's great to be back. Excited to hear some good conversations tonight. Oh, it's going to be a very good show. But do you guys remember when I was started at the beginning where I was with East Palestine and so called World War III? Well, that is my intuition. Okay. And what I mean by intuition, I got you know, the definition here. And it's the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. Explain, Tara. Welcome, Tara. Welcome to the show.
Hi,
So
how are you
let's
guys?
great.
Yeah,
So let's talk about it, buddy. Let's
sure,
talk
no
about
problem.
intuition.
You and I usually get together, and when we're doing stuff, we call it our spidey senses.
Right.
We're feeling vibration, we're feeling energy, whether it's spiritual, emotional, physical. You walk past somebody and you just get the creeps.
Yeah.
That's intuition. Intuition can be something like don't go a specific way because you just feel a bad way about it, and maybe you miss an accident. It could be unlimited. It really can.
But here's
And
the question. Here's the question, Tara, right?
sure.
So we're walking down the road, and right, and you come to the fork in the road, right,
Hmm.
left, and you want to go right, but your intuition saying go left, but you decide to go right anyway because you don't listen to your intuition. How often does that happen?
For me, I've kind of lost touch with my intuition and I'm getting back into it. So I would have to say probably 50-50 right now. How about
But
you?
about 50-50. Nah, we'll go 60-40. I like to be different. But no, it's like I don't know. And with intuition, especially for me, okay, it's like I know it's right. It's supposed to be right, but I'm just not going to go to that place because I know with my luck that I had in my whole life, it's like, nah, no, go the other way. And then
Hmm.
that's when the shoe drops. What I want to say is for me is that I don't have the nads to go and follow my intuition all the time. So that's where I'm at with my intuition.
Right. I'm
So
working
you,
on mine.
okay?
Um, my nads are a little bit bigger and higher than yours. But and a little exercise that I started doing recently in a class that I'm taking because I'm taking intuitive healing right now is, put a piece of fruit in your hand and put like uh French fries in your other hand. Okay. So
Hmm.
like what I did the other day was you put something unhealthy in your hand and you lean backwards. Now you put something healthy in your hand, lean forward. Now So I even called BS on that because, you can feel a French fry versus an apple. So maybe I'm doing it on my own. So what I did was I put them on the same kind of plate. And I
Okay.
closed my eyes and I did the same thing. Like the apple, my body went towards it. The French fry, my body went back.
Okay.
So kind of was repulsed by it. So I'm
So
starting to do
actually,
that now.
it's like a pendulum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the food. But
Right. Right.
where does that come in with intuition? I don't
So
understand.
sure, no problem. Like your body is intuitively attracted to healthy things, and it's intuitively repelled by unhealthy things.
Okay.
And, you know, people like us, the more you tell us not to do something, we're going to damn well do it. So, I mean, that's just the way it
Yeah.
is. You know?
Right.
That's
Right.
that's you and I being who we are. Um, and you can raise your intuition numerous ways. You can sit out in the woods and spend time with the trees. If you think that's crazy, maybe you go swimming. Maybe you get a shower and just rinse the heebie-jeebies off you and shake it off. Connecting with your higher power raises your intuition. There's a lot of different things you can do. If you want to attract good, you can always stir your tea or your coffee clockwise. If you want to get rid of something that maybe isn't serving your intuition, you can do counterclockwise.
Okay. Michael Anthony says, "Hello, friends. Please share." And that's what we're doing, my friend. That's what we're doing. I don't know. Do you think that with intuition, right?
Mhm.
Is it actually your spirit guide kind of like going at it, or is there like kind of guiding you to that, or do you think it is something inside the body, inside the brain that makes you go to it? Do you know what I mean? Is it
Sure, I
spirit
believe
or is it something in the body?
I believe it's either or because you can have physical intuition and you can have spiritual intuition. So your physical intuition would be your natural body's vibration vibrating with the universe, whereas your
Right,
spiritual intuition is being led by maybe your ancestors, maybe your gods and deities that you believe in, maybe it's your spirit guide, that kind of thing. Or maybe it's one of your friends who happens to have telepathy sending you, hey, stop.
right. I've dealt with that many times. But you know what? But it's still, it's like, but it all boils down to us actually going to where we're supposed to go.
Yep.
What stops what stops the normal person from not following their intuition?
Fear, I think. Fear of people thinking they're crazy.
Okay.
Um, when we're first born, you always talk, people always talk about how open babies are. They haven't learned the dynamic of the world, what is perfect, what is supposed to happen, what is the status quo.
Right.
Um, it's not what the natural law and order of the universe is. So that's why a lot of times babies see ghosts. Babies will talk to their nana or their grandma or whomever has passed on. You
Hmm.
know,
Oh,
I think a
your
lot.
son's on. Your son. Hi,
Oh,
John. How are you? John's on.
hey, Jarhead.
He's a grunt. Not a jarhead. He's a grunt.
So, just so you know, they had yellow rain down there.
What's that?
Camp Lejeune had yellow rain over the weekend, which means they had chemicals in the
Oh yeah, the chemtrails out there are freaking unreal. We've
Yep.
had a couple, like a lot over here where I'm at, and
Hmm.
that's for another story.
Yep.
Um,
Exactly.
so you were talking earlier when I was talking to you way earlier that you were going to a class for this. Can you
Hmm.
explain the class that you're doing?
Sure. I'm doing an intuitive healing class where I am learning how to get back in touch with my intuition so that I can actually help other people. Maybe it's I like to make onion soup for people that are sick because onions soups tend to be something that really is a natural healing.
Okay.
And I've done that for several people up here in Butler, and they've loved it. And when I cut the onions, I put an intention in, and when I mix everything together in the pot, I stir it clockwise, and then I stir it counterclockwise. The clockwise is good intentions. Counterclockwise is getting rid of whatever ailment that's bothering them. Maybe they have a cold, maybe they're just not feeling well. Um, but I've repressed all of my spirituality for so long that it's time to get in touch with my intuition again and my spirituality. So it's kind of
Okay.
a baby step.
So, any what else do you do in that class besides what made you choose French onion soup?
I researched the kitchen witch. I read a book called The Kitchen Witch. And, a lot of people don't like the word witchcraft, but if you think about it, almost everybody practices it just by cooking. You're taking several things that don't ever grow together or aren't normally together in a situation, and you're mixing them all in a pot, and you're setting an intent. Your intent's like nourishment, making your husband or wife happy, feeding your kids. So a lot of people practice witchcraft that don't realize they're actually doing it.
Ah, I can understand that because when we had Natasha on, she said even if you throw a thought out there in the air, when you're thinking about something, you're actually casting the spell, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I mean, a
Now,
lot of people, practice everyday witchcraft that don't even think about it, just with, superstitions even.
okay. Oh, we got a lot of those coming up, but I'm not done with you yet. We'll get to the
Yeah.
superstitions. So, the last time we talked, Michael Anthony says many were punished for not really understanding their home remedies and cures. That's true.
Hmm. That is
You
true.
know,
I'll
you
tell you
know.
what, honestly, the best thing I ever took for a sore throat was honey. The best thing I ever took for the flu was my grandma's hottie toddies, which I can't do anymore. But, that was the best thing. You sweat it out. You sweat it out and you sweat it out.
I mean, I know a lot of witches, and now that's a good question. You are a witch, correct?
I am beginning to become one, yes.
Okay. So, would you prefer to be called a Wiccan, or would you be considered a witch?
A Wiccan is slightly different than a witch. A
Can you
witch,
explain that, please?
sure. Um, Wiccans are similar to pagans, and they're more into like the natural things and the way the universe works and the wheel of life. Whereas witchcraft can be any new number of things where you can do rituals, you can do spells, you can believe in daemons or demons, you can believe in god and goddesses, you can believe in the natural earth as well. So it's kind of like a combination of Wiccan and paganism.
John just said, anytime they needed me to sleep as a kid, they gave me a hottie toddy. He's laughing.
Yeah.
Trust me, I had those hottie toddies too. Trust me. When I was young, I was raised off of those things.
Yep.
But so
You knew him.
since we last talked, when I had you on my show a while back, how have you progressed?
Baby steps. I am already a shaman in the Native American community. I'm also a breathwork practitioner. So I'm trying to learn the healing practices so that I can convert it into my shamanism, if that makes any sense.
Okay, I can see that. What
So that I can
made you?
become a
What
medicine
made
woman.
you? You want so instead of a shaman, you'd be considered a medicine woman.
Hmm.
So you would be able to go out and make these natural cures to help
Yes.
people.
Hmm.
Okay, is that your intention on being a medicine woman?
Yes.
Okay,
Hmm.
and how far away are you from becoming that medicine woman?
Oh, I'd say I'm only 2% towards 100% right now. There's so
Okay,
much. Yeah. But
okay,
there's a lot of holistic and supernatural people around me here in Butler. I mean, we have an apothecary now. We have, people that are into rocks and gems and that kind of thing. We have, Reiki masters. We have, Satanists that are around. So I'm trying to learn a bunch of different religions and incorporate it into my practice, because my mentors from that aspect of the shamanism have done that over the years. They've gone to India and Egypt and the Mayan temples and grabbed it all together. And I have a doctor that's Indian from India, and he said, Tara, you're more Eastern than Western than most Western people that I've met. So I
Yeah,
think
it's the black hair you got.
it could be that I'm Tara's a Hindu goddess too, which I don't equate myself to, but I don't know. I don't know where he's going with that.
Don't lie to my people. Don't lie to my people. You walk around like, if you had a robe of some sort that said, I'm Tara, I'm a goddess. Yeah, you're like.
Maybe someday.
But, I don't know. But I tell you what, I wish you all the luck in the world.
Thanks,
bud. And I hope you continue doing your studies so you can get to be where you need to be.
I appreciate that. I mean, I've had the best mentors in the world. I mean, you being one of them. So.
Oh, don't make me blush. I guess I just, ladies and gentlemen, I've known Tara for 20 years, and it was like I was put on my path to teach people spirituality and ghost hunting and whatever it was. And I do believe that spirit connected us together so I can help her on her way. And it was rough, but I tell you what, she has changed so much. She has changed for the good. And with all your teachers up there in Butler, my God, just hang on. You got like the top-notch teachers up there, with the Stones, with Natasha's place, and all the things that you learned up there. I'm proud of you, buddy. I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that. Natasha's actually teaching the intuitive course that I take. So.
You're breaking up. What did you say again?
Natasha's actually teaching the intuitive course that I take, which is amazing.
Oh, okay. You got a good teacher. John says, thankfully, my path led to you too. Of course, Shawn. Wait. Thankfully, my path led you to Shawn. My path led to you too, Shawn, because you've taught me a great deal too. Thanks, bud. I'm sure, definitely, you were led too. Your mom, and then I met you when you were just a knee-high little dude. Now you're a grunt. You're a Marine Corps grunt. But I love you, man. Thank you for saying that. Thank you. I appreciate that. But, so any more news or any more that you want to say about the intuition?
I just recommend people get in touch with it and follow it more than they need to do it more now than ever.
And they have to work on the fear of following it. But you know what? Speaking of fear, it's hard to.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard. It's hard because we're afraid to make a move. We're afraid to go to this person, or we're afraid to go to the bank, or we're afraid to go because in our minds, right? In our minds, we're like, nothing works. It's like, so for me, bud, is that I'm really definitely working on some stuff. I am growing. We talked about this a week ago, and I am growing. It's taking baby steps. I just got to get out of this funk. But so everybody, that was about the intuition that Tara wanted to talk about today. Now, coming up on St. Patty's Day, we only got 17 more days, and it's the Irish, and it's St. Patrick's Day. So, we just couldn't talk about intuition. We came up with the idea, how about some Irish superstitions? And what I mean is, when a black cat crosses you, right? Yeah. Everyone thinks that's bad luck. That's bullshit. The cat just wants to cross the street. That's all it wants. You know what I mean? I have a problem with superstitions. I do walk under ladders and stuff like that. Um, how about you?
Yeah, I was raised a lot by my grandma, and she always looked at the cows, and when they were laying down, she knew it was going to rain and that kind of thing. So I'm horrible because some of the superstitions I really follow a lot, like knocking on wood and goofy stuff like that. So,
Right.
but
So I
yeah,
so I happened to dwell into some researching, and I came up with about 10 or 11 Irish superstitions. Have you come up with any?
yeah, I've come up with a couple too.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You're my
Um,
guest.
One of the ones that I've never heard of before is don't whistle at night because you summon evil spirits. Have you heard of that one?
I've never heard of that one before. And the only thing is, I don't whistle that much. I don't
Yeah.
whistle, so I guess I don't have to worry about the evil spirits coming to me. But then
I'm
again,
wondering if it's like some silly song that they love, or I don't know. It's kind of bizarre, but yeah.
John says I never split pulls. That's funny, buddy. I
Yep.
got one
Yep.
here. Now, this was like really cool. The magpie in the Irish superstition, the magpie. It brings sorrow to the passerby. Okay.
Mhm.
And if you see like a bunch of magpies, right,
Right.
it brings you a lot of happiness.
Huh.
Yeah, but we have no magpies. So I think a magpie, honestly, if I'm not mistaken, is a crow or a raven, correct?
I'm guessing that they're all real similar because I do know there's superstition about that.
Go ahead, your
But if
turn.
you think about it, their songs are very melancholy when they're by themselves, but it's almost orchestral when they're together.
Right. Now, see, for me, and I don't know, Raven has been very dominant in my life lately. And
Mhm.
and there's one Raven that sits on the light post at work. And when I'm going into work, no matter what time it is, if I'm there at 5 in the morning, the Raven's there. And when I leave, if I start at 10 in the morning, the Raven is there. And it's always, it talks to me,
Mhm.
and I just wish it a good morning. And, I try to leave a couple bread things, or if I have anything to eat, I'll leave them a little treat, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
I don't know, for some reason, ravens fascinate me.
Yeah. Have you
So,
asked him what his message for you is yet?
no, I haven't. And the reason being because, what does it say, Shawn? Huh? What does it say? Oh, okay. Nothing. I just wish it good morning and I head into work. But, there's going to be a time where I do want to open up and I will allow that message to come to me, you
Right.
know. Um, and that's with a squirrel or a rabbit that I see. We have like 3 or 4 hutches around where I live at, and there's constantly rabbits all over the place. The raven. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the raven, Jen. Yeah,
Both the Raven Nevermore.
that's right. So I got another one here. It says, this is superstitions from Ireland,
Hmm.
disturbing the fairy ring will bring bad luck. Now, let me explain that a little bit, everybody. The fairy ring is made out of mushrooms, all right? And it's a circle. And that's where all the fairies hang out, okay? And I got a really neat story to tell you about that. I was living over in Pleasant Hills, and it was my weekend to have with my son. So we came over, and the apartment complex that I was in, they had different types of, they had all kinds of gardens with flowers in it. Okay. And one evening, me and my son, he liked the garden. He felt like he was at home in the garden. And what happened was he was sitting on a bench. Me and him were sitting on the bench. And all of a sudden, this was like in April. Okay, so it's still a little cold. And all of a sudden, we see all these little white lights flashing all over the place. And I'm serious about this, guys, ladies and gents. There was little flash of lights, like darting here, there, and there. And it was a little bit too early for lightning bugs. Okay, that's what we call them here in Pittsburgh, lightning bugs. You know, and so the next morning we went back out to the garden, and there was a perfect big old mushroom ring. And then right
Huh.
there in the, it was like, okay, those are fairies we saw the other night, last night. But I think it's pretty interesting. And you know what? That I mean, they're not always happy people. You know, them fairies. You know, they can be mean. So it's just like me coming in and bulldozing your house down. Okay, I'm sure you'll be a little mad about that now, wouldn't you? But then again, you got a mythical creature, a bunch of fairies. Can you imagine if they all ganged up on your ass? Holy crap, that would be like, wow.
That would be
There'd
hell
be
on earth.
there'd be a lot of fairy dust all over you, and so, and then they'll take you to what Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, and you know how she like got mad at Peter Pan all the time. So there'd be a lot of Tinkerbells, you know, throwing stuff at me. But go ahead,
Right.
your turn. Your turn.
Okay. So my next one was that hanging your horseshoe the right. If you hang it pointing up, it catches all the good luck. If you hang it upside down, it dumps all your good luck out over your door.
Oh wow. But that's kind of hard, like kind of have the horseshoe up, right?
You really have to tack it up there correctly.
I'm seriously, man, you'd have to pound in a couple nails, like two or three nails, and
Yep.
maybe you might have to glue the bad boy up there against the wall because, you know, because the way the horseshoe looks, it's more better, you know, when it's turned upside down. So
Yep.
I never knew about the. I knew something was about the horseshoe, but I couldn't figure out what it was. It
Yep.
was like
Yep.
crazy. But I have a couple other ones here. You
Yeah.
know,
Go ahead.
um, do you know when your nose is itchy? It's a sign of a fight.
Huh. I did not know that one.
Yeah, that I was like, and you know what? Recently, my nose has been itchy. But then again, what kind of fight is it? Is it a fisticuffs or is it a fight for something that you believe in? Is it a fight for, you know, not to be, um, not a fight for prominence or egotistical, but what type of fight? You know, it could be any type of fight, not a fist fight.
All right.
You know, so if your nose is itchy, everybody, especially you, John Brecken, you know you're in for a fight. So with so-called World War III coming in, you're going to have to start itching. Your nose will probably be itchy, probably itch it all out. But I saw those dog tags. All right, go ahead.
Another one that I found that I thought was interesting was um
Uh
dumping the
huh.
salt shaker over. That's one.
What was that one, buddy? You
When
broke
you
up on
spill
that.
the salt, you have to throw it over your left shoulder
What's that
to
all about?
counteract.
Do you know?
I honestly don't know. I don't know if it was because the salt shaker salt maybe was in limited quantity in Ireland back in the day. I don't know. But then again, why would you throw more of it over your shoulder?
Right, man. You need it for the potatoes, that you put on that you eat over in Ireland.
Yeah.
John says, and I have a cold and keep blowing my nose. He's on a roll tonight. He's just a grunt. He's just a grunt. But I have another one here, and this like kind of like really was interesting. If a candle doesn't burn in the window throughout Christmas, bad luck will come to the house.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh,
Well,
it's
if you
for
think
good luck.
about it,
Okay, thanks, Jen. Go
thanks,
ahead.
Jen. Um, if you think about it, a lot of people do that at Christmas time. They do put the candles as decorations in their windows. I wonder if they
Yeah,
realize that that's where that's from.
it well, generation to generation to generation, but people are getting a lot smarter now. But they're either you can plug them in or else you got batteries. But you also got
Mm-hmm.
to remember too, then batteries do die. So
Yeah.
you have that candle going on in the window there, and all of a sudden your battery dies and you don't realize it, and then all of a sudden there's no candle being lit in the house.
Yeah.
That was
Then,
pretty interesting. I really enjoyed that one. I
yeah, then
liked
your
it.
FUBAR, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Your turn.
Um, Another one that I found was not replying to somebody who sent you a letter. I guess maybe that's where chain letters came about. I don't know, but I had seen where if you don't respond to a correspondence, a letter, they believe it's bad luck.
Jenny has battery candles. That's cool.
Yep.
Just make sure they don't go out, buddy. Don't make sure the batteries don't die
I
on
used to actually use those where I had a hawk's nest because we weren't allowed to have candles because it's an old building.
them. Right.
So I used the battery operated candles for our circles and meditations.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, so, but you see all these houses during Christmas, how they're all lit up. They got all them decorations and all that. But to me, I think the most prettiest one are the ones that just have the single candles in the window.
Yeah.
For some
Yep.
reason, it's just like, wow, that's a hell of a lot better than putting like 3 million different lights all over your property just
Mhm.
to, what are they hoping for? Good luck for like the next 10 years with falling cup. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yep.
whatever. But I got one here, which is pretty cool. And this is like funny. Okay, everybody, this one is funny. Okay, having a bird poop on you is good luck. No luck. The superstition actually started in Russia, right? But the Irish, how temperamental we are, we took it beyond that to where um, also a bird pooping on your car means good luck.
Nice.
So everybody out there, if you got bird poo all over your car, there should be a lot of good luck coming towards you. Even though you're
Yeah.
cussing, even though you're cussing at the bird because they have some really potent poo, and it kind of like puts a kind of stain or a thing into the truck, and then you have to scrub it, and then you gotta wax it, and you got just because the little bird went poo on you, Okay, so go ahead, go ahead.
Um, Another one is Friday the 13th. Almost all cultures have that as a bad luck day, which I don't understand what that was all about. You?
I No, I don't. But you know what? I read somewhere. I think it's the Italians that the 13th, the Fridays the 13th,
Uh-huh.
represents good luck for them.
Huh. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. Because I did have a show on Italian superstitions, and Friday the 13th is a good. It brings them good luck.
Huh.
Hmm. Now everybody knows what soda bread is. Okay,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Irish bread. Okay. Now, oh, what just my dad was born on Friday the 13th, and oh my gosh, Jen, holy crap. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. But he's a good dude. He got you. Yeah. I'm I'm lost for words, Jenny. That's hard to understand. It's hard for me to be lost for words, but I'm lost for words. Yeah, my dad was 100% Italian too. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, good luck on the Friday the 13th in October. He's pure 100% Italian. Look at the good luck he had. You know? But everybody knows about soda bread. It's an Irish bread that you don't need a fire for. Anthony Caballos says hello, Tara. Anthony Sabalios Says hello, Tara.
Hello.
Um, Now, one of the Irish superstitions, they cut a cross into the bread.
Hmm.
So, it's kind of even. Hey, Matt, good to see you, buddy. So it has an even, like, cooking. But
Right.
according to the Irish, right, a cross on the bread lets the devil out.
Huh.
Yeah, that kind of like, wow, you know? So people who make soda bread and they put a cross in it lets the devil out. So I don't know where they came up with them. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But that's pretty interesting. If you break a looking glass, you will have 7 years of bad luck.
Yeah. Did you ever figure out where that one came from either? Like,
When I looked it up, ours, what?
mhm.
But let me see what else. If the left palm is itchy, the left one, that means money's coming in.
Okay.
But if your right palm, okay, when the right palm's itchy, money's going out.
Huh. Well,
Yeah.
That's similar to witchcraft
Okay.
because
Great.
you're supposed to receive with your left and give with your right.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any more over there?
I noted that there are numerous numbers in different cultures that are bad luck.
Oh,
So, Chinese and Japanese and Korean, the number 4 is bad luck to them because the word sounds like the word of death
hold
when
on.
you say it in their language.
Uh-huh.
Japanese culture said that number 9 is bad luck because it sounds like the word suffering in their language.
Okay.
Um, in Italian culture, number 17 is bad luck,
Why?
but it doesn't say why.
Why is that, Jenny? Why in the Italians 17 means bad luck? Do you know what it means, Jen? Matt says, I'm removing my right hand. I need money. That is
in
true.
in Afghan culture, 39 is a curse.
Mm-hmm.
In Japanese culture, number 43 is similar to the word for stillbirth, so they don't like that.
Who comes
Let's
up
see.
with all these? Who comes up with all these superstitions?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is it
Well, in
old
China,
wives still?
um, well, if you think about it, though, some of these, like the words and the culture in like Japanese and the Orient areas, if a number is very similar in pronunciation to different things, maybe that kind of has a realness to it, if that makes any sense.
So, so if we say the number 3, that could mean tea.
Right, right.
Oh, I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm good. Um, I don't know. I'm glad you brought up the superstitions because there is so many more. Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Um,
just real quick in looking, I found like 40 some.
mhm. Now, okay, what play my year birth was? Play my year birth was 63. Huh. I don't know about play your birth. Oh, okay. I think I know what you mean, buddy. But I want to, how every month is an awareness one, right?
Yep,
Okay. So, oh, wrong one. So keep talking while I look this up, please.
no
Appreciate it,
problem.
buddy.
Well, today is Awareness Day for Rare Diseases and Conditions.
That's what I was trying to find. So, everybody, we need to help people out who need help. Oh, Jenny's going. She goes, I have no idea why it wedges and think I'm using text to talk or whatever talk. I'm using talk to text in the bathtub. Might have something to do with it. For everybody out there that who Jenny is, she is my co-host with Chasing Prophecy, and we had a show on earlier tonight, which was a pretty decent one, you know. But Tara, during my show, I usually throw, do a 3 card spread with my animal totems. Okay. So everybody, right before the show, I drew 3 cards and I wrote down the meanings to it because I know I take a little bit of time um, looking it up. So I figure I'd have it ready for you. So the 3 cards that I pull up is the past, the now, and the future. So for everybody's path, maybe this might be, this reading these little 3 cards that I have for you. It might be have something to deal with your life or some situation going on that's with you. Might not be the whole reading. Maybe one of the cards is something that you're experiencing in the past or the future or whatever. So the first card that I drew was the dolphin. Okay. And the dolphin, according to the medicine cards, means Nana, and there's a cat. Um, and Nana is the life force. It's the keeper of sacred life. And your cat really, really made your camera go dark. There you go. But the dolphin means breathing. To go far away and let the dolphin take your breath. Let it help, breathe with the dolphins in order to get through the situations that you are in right now. And that was in your past. Okay. The now card I picked out was the Raven. And the Raven is magic. You see what I mean? It was funny when I pulled this card. I was talking earlier about the Ravens, and I
Yeah.
know you're talking to your son. So there.
What's that?
She's laughing her butt off. Now, the raven means magic. Okay. It's entering the darkness with courage. That is what the raven does. The raven is there to protect you as you go into the darkness, into the void with great mystery. Yeah, and this is what the book says, but I can understand it. My and then the opossum is a diversion, is like, and this is for the future. Diversion is to use strategy to get out of bad situations that you're in. You know what I mean? The dolphin, to me, now this is the way I look at it. The dolphin in the past, yes, it has to do something with breath and it has to deal with water, and it really needs, the dolphin actually helps protect you wherever you're at. um, I gave you the book meanings on these animals. Now I'm telling you my feeling about it. So if you have this dolphin medicine card come up in the past, you really, really need to learn how to accept what's going on in your life today, and learn how to breathe. Don't get ecstatic. Don't get nervous, Trust the breathing of the dolphin. The raven, yeah, it's definitely magic, but it's a powerful magic. The raven is there um, just to make a lot of noise. But it also has a lot of good meaning, not so much bad. Everybody thinks that they see a raven that it's bad and stuff like that, and it really isn't. You know what I mean? It isn't bad. But the raven is there to protect you. All these animals in this animal totem deck are here to help you. And the possum, it plays dead. So if you're in a situation where you can't get out of, play dead. Just like fall over and pretend you're dead, because all the predators that attack the opossum, they say it's dead, so they just walk on by. So if you're in a bad situation, just play dead until the situation goes away. And then that's what I feel, what those cards meant tonight. How about you? What's your favorite? What's your animal totems?
Mine.
Tara? Yeah, I'm
Uh,
talking to you.
Mine is the hawk
Hmm.
and a blue jay and a red wolf.
And have you checked out the meanings behind those animals, why they're with you?
I did when I first started seeing them. Yeah, yeah. But hawk is my number one. In fact, in one of my breathwork journeys, I was given the name Lady Hawk by a Native American elder.
Okay. Um, can you, I mean, we're running out of time here pretty soon, so I'm going to have to get going here. But can
Sure,
you can you explain your breath work stuff?
sure. So my breathwork basically is a journey that you take, and it is a journey through medicine and meditation and music. And you connect with the gods and goddesses of your understanding, and you connect with the earth and the universe. And it moves through your chakras, and you usually go on like pretty much a vision quest, sort of, where like one of mine was I was swimming down a river and all of these people were on the banks of the river, and it was people I recognized and ancestors I recognized and people I didn't even know. Some of my best friends were there, but that was part of the journey where I was swimming down a river and needed to let go of some things, and they were all there to support me.
Okay, so basically, it's like going through a meditation.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yep.
meditating's good, but that's for another show.
Yep.
Um, do you have any last words that you'd like to share before we close?
Sure. Just connect with your spirituality and help other people, and always remember to stay humble.
I like, yeah, humility is the best medicine. But you know
Yep.
what? It's so hard in today's world to be
Get it.
humble. Um, I really try working on it. Okay, I really do. But there are times where I don't be humble and I get mad, or I there's that every now and then I get that egotistical feeling where I'm Shawn Kelly, I'm the best paranormal investigator, blah 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 blah, and then I have to hold back. No, you have to do mine after the show. Okay, Jen. Where did you see a red bull at? Not a red bull, hun. It was a red wolf. It was a red wolf. Um, that was Tara's. She saw the red wolf. Where did you see the red wolf at?
Actually, it was in a zoo.
In the zoo.
It literally just like kept staring at me.
Okay, that's cool. Um, but thank you for being on the show, and thank you
Thanks
for
for having me.
being my special co-host tonight. Everybody out there, if you would like to be a co-host on my show, for a night, get yourself out there. If you have a paranormal group, or if you just want to be on the show with me, that would be great, and we can talk about different things. Um, Again, Tara, thank you very much for being on the show, and
Have me,
everybody
bud.
out. Oh, you're welcome. Now, everybody out there, and I usually say this before I go. Parents, if you please go to your children and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And children, please go and hug your parents and tell them that you love them too. Okay? Um, if you don't have no parents or you have no children, find somebody and give them a hug. Because you know what, everybody, right now at this time, during this time that we're having on earth, with everybody needs to be happy. Everybody wants to know that they are wanted. Everybody wants to know that there are people out there that can have security with them. So, and on that note, I want to wish everybody a good night. Thank you for watching the show. I don't know what's going to happen next week on the show. I'll kind of figure it out an hour before the show starts. That's how I work. But good evening. Thank you for being on. Thank you, Tara. And on that note, happy hunting.